So, Mr. D. Mac, what made you pursue becoming a chemist?
So when I was a chemist in college, it was strictly a situation where my professor in chemistry had a job opportunity, and it was pretty much money. It was a paid internship, and it became a lab research position. And I worked for the UC Irvine chemistry lab, the Dowings chemical lab, and we had government contracts, and it was dope because we used to design and implement weapons for the military. Government contracts. It was nice.
Okay. What is the daily life like?
Oh man, super easy. You walk in at 9 to 5, 5 days a week. You walk in 9 to 5, and you pretty much sit there with your team. Super collaborative, super social interactions. You have to talk, and you have to know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, you're going to embarrass yourself. But you sit around a table, you discuss the government contract, what they want, and you figure out ways to design it. And pretty much it's you, your team, and a bunch of whiteboards and papers, and you guys figuring it out, planning it, figuring out how much you need, how much you want to make, what the price point is, and then once you get in the lab, that's when the real fun begins. You start testing stuff out, mixing all the chemicals you want. You have an unlimited supply of chemicals, whatever you want, you can get, and the military will also give you like decommissioned tanks and decommissioned army vehicles, and you'll have to work on those. You take the best memory I have is us testing a weapon, a chemical agent. We had to get on a bus, and my whole team and my professors, and we drove out into the middle of nowhere. Apparently it's around this thing called a Joshua tree in California, and they had a decommissioned tank in this testing area, and we pretty much just got to set off a bunch of charges and a bunch of chemical agents on this tank and see what was effective.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, from your interview, now that I know, how much did you make each hour? For like a week or?
Okay, so I was a research fellow on this, and I was at the bottom of the totem pole, the very, very bottom. And I got taxed normally just like a regular income, regular paycheck, and it was $38 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, $38 an hour. And this is all government work, by the way. I mean, if you don't have the contracts, you can't work. So it was up to us to go and get the government contracts and meet with military people and all these people that would give us what they wanted us to make and what they wanted us to research, and after that we would all get paid.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Was there any positive of being what was like the main positive of being a
Because they told me do not break a computer.
So it's really cool because at that age in my life I was definitely a little bit on the socially anxious side, so I didn't want to be very social. So it was a really good, if you don't want to interact with many people, interact with the same 10 people a day, blah blah blah, it's a really good feeling to be with that same group of people and know that the work you're doing on a very, very small scale is going to be used in like military events and military practices. It's really cool to know that these two beakers that you're holding, or these two test tubes, are going to be used in the military. So it's a cool feeling knowing that. Aside from that, obviously all the explosions, all the testing was the best part.
Okay, that's nice to hear. What can you say to someone? How can you convince someone to be a chemist? What would you tell them?
I'll be honest, it came down to I was good at this. I'm a really calculating guy, so I like numbers, I like math, and when I learned chemistry, that's when I fell in love with chemistry. And if you like chemistry, if you like all the stoichiometry, all the chemicals, all the safety that goes along with it, if you like chemistry, man, it's a really good field to go into. If you can go in, clock in at 9, clock out at 5, and talk chemistry from 9 to 5, you're gonna get paid very well, and you're gonna be happy because you're only interacting with a certain amount of people every day. So it was good for people that were socially anxious like I was.
Nice. Okay, so from what you said, what made you love chemistry?
I think with math, it was hard to like math because you don't get to see it work out. You don't get to see math do anything. You knowing how to graph and knowing how to, factor stuff. It's all cool, man. But with chemistry, it blends, not to sound corny or anything, but it blends like actual magic and actual like what people use every single day with math, and it does it very well. Like with these skills, I've been able to make fireworks. I've been able to make explosives. I've been able to make a lot of different things. Oh, I can. It's such a good feeling to know that like I can walk into a pharmacy where I could read the back of medicine and know like those chemicals inside it. It's a really cool feeling to know what's going down on a molecular level. So yeah, that's my answer to that question.
Since you were like a chemist, do you know any other jobs that like what else can you do with being a chemist? Like, I don't know.
I can answer that really well. So if you do not want to work for the military, which they're hiring every single day, all the time, you can work for pharmaceutical companies, and they will pay you a boatload of money to do that with a bachelor's degree in chemistry. So you don't even need a master's, you don't need a PhD. With a bachelor's, right after college, right after undergrad, you can go and work at a pharmaceutical company and make a lot of money. One of my friends, his name's Keith, we went to college together. He's doing that, and he is the same age as me, and he's making 6 figures. Drives a Tesla. It's super nice. His life's nice, but he works for a pharmaceutical company. You can do that. You can work for the military. You can work for any sort of pyrotechnics. If you like making fireworks or designing fireworks, you can work for that. I had a friend go into that. You can work, obviously, medical field. You can work for pharmaceutical companies. Sorry, you can go to pharmacy school, and you can become a pharmacist. That blends. If you have a chemistry degree, you're pretty much one step away from becoming a pharmacist very easily. And outside of that, you can be an environmental scientist. Like you can study the chemical components of the ocean water and all that stuff. I have a friend that went to that. He's an environmental chemist, and he studies all that foresty stuff, all the different molds and everything that's growing in the forest. He's into that. I'm not into that, but he's into that.
Okay, that's it.
Cool.
Thank you.
Great.
That was an awesome interview. Damn, you can